right, let's look at the playoff picture and see where everyone is today. Because I tell you what, I don't remember a season that has been so opaque, so strange and murky. Because nothing has been decided at this point. There's only two things that we know for sure. One, Phoenix has the 1 seed locked up. They're 7 games ahead of the next person below them. We've known that's pretty much 2 months ago, once the Warriors began their death spiral. As soon as Draymond Green got hurt, as soon as Steph Curry started trying to win the all-time three-point hitting record, that was pretty much a wrap. Suns have the number 1 seed no matter what. It's laid out for them. And now Memphis came out of nowhere and has the number 2 seed in the West, and doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to catch up with them either. Some people are probably surprised by this, not us. We've been discussing it for months now. Desmond Bane, Xavier Tillman, just and on and on. Steven Adams and Jaren Jackson and DeAnthony. I mean, just so many good kids. Dylan Brooks, Ja Morant, obviously. Young, explosive, still winning without Ja. They beat the Suns last week, and the Suns were fully loaded, completely healthy. And they rested Steven Adams. They rested Jaren Jackson. They rested Desmond Bane. And they beat the brakes off the Suns. Like, it was absolutely unreal. This is a team nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to see. Other than that, we have no idea what's going to happen. The Heat are the number 1 seed right now in the East, but there is a chance that they could lose that to the Bucks or the Sixers. There's maybe 2 or 3 games between them. The Celtics, Bucks, and Sixers are currently 2-3-4, and 1 half game separates them. No idea who's going to end up where, probably until the last day of the season. The Bulls and Raptors are 5 and 6, but could slip into the play-in with a couple of losses. That's likely where they'll land, but who is 5 and who is 6 is very unknown. The Cavs and the Hawks are 7 and 8, probably going to stay there. Cavs will probably host the play-in game. And as we discussed, the Nets and the Hornets are in the 9 and the 10 right now, which is just bonkers. But who is going to host this play-in game is still not known, because they're tied right now in the standings. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Out west, the 3 and the 4 also up for grabs. Warriors keep tanking, and the Mavs keep winning. 1 game separates them with Golden State in 3rd. The Mavs are going to make a push for 3 because they probably would rather play 6 than in the Jazz than 5 in the Nuggets, right? Jazz are giving up 20-point leads like I drink water. So, I mean, it's just an all-day thing for them. The Wolves have an outside chance of making the number 6 seed, which I did predict 12 months ago, and I did predict with you, Brock, I want to say the first episode of the year. So if Utah keeps drinking water, a.k.a. blowing leads, they could end up in the 6 seed. Right now, the Wolves would host the 7 Wolves would host the 8 Clippers in a Pat Bev revenge game, which I will be here for. I will be absolutely here for. The Lakers, and the Pelicans have a game lead on the number 10 Spurs, who are surging. All of a sudden, the Pelicans came out of fucking nowhere, fly in the ointment, pushing the Lakers down so that the Lakers have a better draft pick for them to get, and also a worse spot for also them to get as well. If they have a 14 pick in the draft of their own, they get it. If the Lakers have a pick that's worse, they get it as well. So it's a win-win for the Pels, and all of a sudden, after a disastrous beginning to the year, they have figured it out, strangely, without Zion. Who could have seen Zion not playing all year, right? That was also just absolutely unpredictable. The Lakers on the outside looking in at this point, and will probably have to win at least 3 of their last 4 games to get in, unless the Spurs win 1 game, and then they would have to win all 4, which is unlikely because of the NBA's desire to see LeBron James play in meaningful games down the stretch and putting those games on national television. You can't have him play a bunch of cupcakes going down the stretch, so it's a fucking gauntlet. They play the Suns, they play the Warriors, they play the Nuggets, and then they play the Thunder. Good luck and good night. My personal best case scenarios for the first round. I want to see the Suns play the Clippers because I want to see, can Paul George lead this team? Will Kawhi Leonard make a push to come back? Can they get Norm Powell? Also, Ty Lue, one of the most geniuses in the game in terms of his coaching. What will he do against this Suns team? Also, that series last year in the Western Conference semis, or the Western Conference Finals wasn't it? Western Conference Finals was epic. Even though they don't have Pat Bev anymore, I promise it will be electric. I want to see Memphis play the Jazz because I want the Jazz to go home in the first round. I want them to blow it up. Like, Donovan Mitchell's already only passing the ball to Rudy Gobert less times than he passes to the other team. He legitimately has more turnovers per game than he passes to Rudy Gobert. And I'm not talking about assists. I'm talking about actually giving the ball to Rudy Gobert. He passes to him 2 times a game. 2 times. That needs to explode. Like, I need Utah to just dismantle. So a first-round exit is the way for that to happen. And I want to see Memphis have a nice, easy path to play the Suns in the Western Conference Finals. Golden State plays the Wolves, 3-6. I want to see the Wolves take Golden State out. I want to just take a victory lap on the Warriors aren't going to be that good. All the things that I thought that they would be, all the precarious things that I thought might happen about guarding Steph, blitzing him, issues with Clay's health, his ability to defend as a two-way player, his body coming back right, Andrew Wiggins in playoff moments, Jordan Poole getting glossy in the face, all the other role players just disintegrating, all those things that I see in my mind's eye so clearly. I want that to come and everyone else to see them in reality as well. I want that. And I want to see the Wolves make it past the first round. That'd be fucking fun. They're electric, they're athletic, and I love Ant Edwards. I want to see the Mavs play the Nuggets. I just want the Mavs to just ball out. Can Luka get out of the first round? Can we just get the best matchup for him to get out of the first round? I really want that. I really, really want that. And then that sets up for a cool second round as well. In the East, I want to see the Nets play the Heat. I want the Nets to go home. I want them to admit that they made all the wrong decisions. I want them to not give Kyrie an extension. Like, I want chaos. I do. Like, that's what Trysta Krick, not the basketball fan, but the podcaster wants. Like, that shit makes TikTok go. Right? That shit explodes. I need some numbers. So I want the Nets to go night-night. Night-night, sleep mat. I want one series. I want to go to Barclays. I want to go Brooklyn. And I want to, like, root for Kyle Lowry in my heart of hearts to hit daggers and take charges and, like, make life uncomfortable. I want to see KD score 80 in order for this team to win. Like, I want him to just, like, be Superman and still, like, go home and still, like, be like, it's okay. I want to see Boston take on either Atlanta or I want to see them play Cleveland if Jared Allen can come back. Like, how do they deal with somebody like Jared Allen and Evan Mobley? Like, can Boston really defend that? What does that matchup look like? That would be fun. Or, man, Atlanta is a bad matchup for Boston. Well, I mean, Boston's a bad matchup for Atlanta. They've got nobody else but Trey. You're going to get the Marcus Smart, Trey Young matchup, I am here for. Like, there will be, someone is going to break something. Like, you know that's the case. Number 3, Sixers, I want them to play Toronto because I want to see who's not vaccinated. Like, I want to see who can't go to Toronto. And I want them to say to me that they care more about not putting Moderna in their body than they do about a ring. Like, I want to know that for sure. Oh, okay, got you. Oh, okay. That's what I want to see. I want to know that Matisse Thybulle is not like full. He probably is, but I'm just guessing. There are guys who haven't made the trip and won't make the trip, and I want to see who that is. And I want the Sixers to go home. I want them to have to make the same decisions that the Nets have to make with Kyrie Irving, but with James Harden. Are you going to pay this man $50 million a year after you just had a first-round exit? After a first-round exit? I want to see Embiid cry memes. I want the memes of that again. I love Embiid, but I want that. I want Philly to be in fucking disarray. I want Daryl Morey to be fired. I want chaos. The Sixers don't deserve nice things. They tried to get James Harden last year, and it didn't work because fucking Daryl Morey put his foot in his mouth with the Hong Kong stuff, and Tillman Fertitta hates him, and the whole thing was just madness. And I want to see Philly fans turn on Harden. I want to see Philly fans say, what do we do now? I want the process to be completely over. I want Embiid to force trade out. These are things I envision, and I want to see the ball start to roll downhill on my imagination. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. And Toronto's is long, and they switch everything, and then you got to play in another country. It is just, the possibilities are endless. And I want to see how those, 6 guys that they have in their rotation that they only play, how are you going to match up with Embiid? How are you going to stop Embiid? Just double him? Because Nick Nurse was the Embiid stopper in their title run. He knows how to play mind games with Embiid. I want to see that as well. And then finally, Bucks play the Bulls. Night-night. It's a night-night scenario. I also want DeMar DeRozan to try to put this team on his back. I want to see Zach LaVine hit a bunch of threes against Middleton. Who is Drew Holiday going to guard? Like, how are they going to stop Giannis? They're not. Like, how is Vooch? I want to see Vooch get cooked by Giannis, don't you? Like, he gets cooked by everybody. He's going to die against Giannis. And then you got Brook Lopez. How do they guard that? Patrick Williams? I mean, that's a terrible matchup for the Bulls. But I want to see it. I want to see it. So finally, the desire is Golden State bounce first round. Because I'm right. Jazz bounce first round so Donovan Mitchell can go to New York. Sixers bounce first round so they have to figure out how they can justify to the fan base paying a guy who's old as shit and like has no explosiveness. His blow by is like 20% now, and like you now need to pay him until he's almost 40. And I want to see Joel Embiid be like, yeah, I think I don't want that. I would prefer Bradley Beal, please. I want to see that. And I want to see that gauntlet matchup between Brooklyn. I want to figure out what you do with Kyrie. So that would be fire. And, of course, all of that to say, like, of course I want to see the Lakers miss the playoffs altogether. Like, I need that. I need Anthony Davis to be on the trade block. I need Rob Pelinka to be fired. I need Frank Vogel, of course, is already fired. I need Jeannie Buss to bring back Magic because you know that's going to happen. I need more winning time moments like 30 years from now. Like these ones. Like it's called losing time. I need the losing time moments for me, my 30 year after now. My 60-year-old self needs the losing time. I cannot wait for this week to unfold, and I bet you can't either. That's all the time that we have for the Heat Check. We'll be back Wednesday. Do not forget to download, subscribe. Please tell your friends. Follow us on social at This Heat Check and at Trysta Krick on TikTok and on Twitter.